Married or single?
I'm single.
What is your birth date?
November 13th of 1989.
And how old were you on July 15th of 2015?
25 years old, sir.
How tall are you?
I'm 6'3",
How much do you weigh?
approximately 200 pounds.
Were you the same size and weight on July 15th, 2015, or July 19th, 2015?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you right hand or left hand dominant?
I fire a weapon with my right hand, but otherwise I do everything else mostly with my left hand.
Okay, such as right?
Yes, sir.
What kind of educational background do you have?
I graduated from Colerain High School in 2008, and I have a bachelor's degree from the University of Cincinnati in criminal justice.
And when you graduated from Colerain High School, did you go immediately to college?
Yes, sir.
Where did you go?
My freshman year of college, I went to the Ohio State University to study criminology.
And then you left Ohio State and transferred to UC?
Yes, sir.
Why was that?
I wanted to be closer to home. I'm more of a homebody, and with my involvement in the Hamilton County Sheriff's Explorers Program, it was hard to do staying in Columbus for school. So I wanted to come back here, and I wanted to go to the University of Cincinnati.
Can you explain to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury about your involvement with the Hamilton County Sheriff's Patrol program?
Yes, sir. It's a program that allows teenagers around 15 or 16 years old to, if they're interested in law enforcement, to kind of put their foot in the door in a way. You get to do hands-on scenarios, weekly classroom trainings, and you do ride-alongs with deputies throughout the county. And we also work a lot of details, parking for festivals and security and things like that. You just get a feel for law enforcement if that's the career path you're leaning towards.
Is this why you were in high school?
Yes, sir.
Would it be a fair statement on my part to say that you've known since you were in high school that you wanted to be a police officer?
Yes, sir.
How did that interest develop?
My dad was a firefighter for 32 years. He would come home with stories, and just the stories he had about helping people, being out in the community. I always had a sense of I wanted to give back. I wanted to protect and serve out there.
Okay, and while you were at the University of Cincinnati, what was your major?
Criminal justice, sir.
And while you were there, did you also attend the Claremont Police Academy?
Yes, sir, I did.
And is that part of the University of Cincinnati?
It's a branch. It's UC Claremont, but it is under UC, yes.
Can you explain to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury how that was integrated with your bachelor's program at UC?
Yes, sir. So in the criminal justice program for UC, if you do want to become certified as an officer, you can go through, UC has their own police academy. It's UC Claremont College Police Academy. You take that for 2 quarters, and you can earn credits towards your bachelor's degree while becoming certified as a police officer.
And how many people were in your class at the police academy?
Approximately 25 to 30.
And how did you finish in that class?
I was voted by the instructors in the class as the best or top overall recruit.
How did you do grade-wise?
I believe I did a 4.0 GPA.
Okay. And did you maintain that type of average or close to that while you were in your entire UC career?
When I graduated from UC, I believe I graduated with a 3.6 or 3.7 GPA average.
And that was with a Bachelor of Science in Criminal Justice, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. During your time in high school, did you have any type of employment?
Yes, sir.
What did you do?
My father's business.
Which is?
Construction.
And what did you do there?
Just general labor. He pours concrete for a living, so I would just in summer times and after school, I would help him in whatever job he was doing.
And while you were in college, were you employed?
Yes, sir.
And doing what?
Still remaining part-time with my dad's business, and after I became certified as a police officer, I was hired part-time with the Village of Green Hills Police Department.
When was that?
Getting hired at Green Hills?
Yes.
That was in April of 2011 while I was still in college.
And when did you graduate from college?
The spring of 2012, the following year.
So following your graduation, did your employment status with Green Hills change?
Yes, in the early spring of 2013, I was promoted from a part-time police officer at Green Hills to a full-time police officer.
And at some point, you applied to be an Ohio State Trooper, is that correct?
Yes, sir, that was in the fall of 2013.
Can you tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury about that process?
Yes, sir, that was a rigorous process. I believe a couple thousand people applied, and they only accepted 60 or 70 applicants to go through their Ohio State Highway Patrol Academy up in Columbus.
And that didn't work out, correct?
No, sir. I went up there for the first day of training and spent the night and into the second day. And while up there, I just had sort of an epiphany that this just wasn't right for me. That the idea of possibly being transferred to another city, Cleveland or Akron or somewhere away from my family by myself, I didn't really like that concept. So I figured before it got too late, I called my chief at Green Hills, and he took me back on as a full-time officer.
So you returned full-time to Green Hills, and this was when?
This was in the fall of 2013.
And for how long did you remain with Green Hills?
Approximately until the spring of 2014, so maybe 7 months, 8 months.
What happened in the spring of 2014?
In the spring of 2014, I was hired on as a full-time University of Cincinnati police officer.
And do you remember your start date there?
I believe it was April 14th, 2014.
And who was the police chief at that time?
The police chief, I believe, was an interim chief named Chief Corcoran.
And was there eventually a full-time chief hired?
Yes, sir, Chief Goodrich.
When did Chief Goodrich start, if you recall?
I believe he was hired on in the fall of 2014, October, November, somewhere in there.
When Chief Goodrich started, were there policy changes made with reference to what the UC officers did?
Yes, sir.
And can you explain what happened there?
When Chief Goodrich was hired, he proceeded to call each officer individually into his office, and he explained his theories on policing, especially in a university environment. And his theory was, since we had a mutual aid agreement with the city of Cincinnati, we had jurisdiction off campus, that he wanted to, in a sense, go farther out into the city of Cincinnati and patrol and be very proactive in traffic stops, pedestrian stops. And he basically called it a no-fly zone or a blue wall, that he wanted us officers, UC officers, to go out in the city and just make traffic stops and let it be known to any criminals that were coming up into that area to commit burglaries, robberies, any criminal activity, to let it be known that we were out there and we were being proactive to deal with those issues.
Were burglaries and robberies and that sort of activity a problem around UC?
Yes, sir, very much so.
Ray, I was hoping not to have to bring this subject up in this trial, but on July 19th, when you went to work that day, you got dressed, correct?
Yes, sir.
And one of the items you put on was a T-shirt.
Yes, sir.
And I believe that has been marked as State's Exhibit 8U. You remember seeing that photograph displayed on the screen?
I do, yes.
What's the story with that T-shirt?
The T-shirt was bought 4 or 5 years ago. I believe a relative who visited Gatlinburg, they'd bought that shirt for me and brought it back.
And what was the policy at the University of Cincinnati with reference to uniforms at that time?
If you're wearing a short sleeve summer uniform, there's a V-neck area that's exposed in your uniform, and you have to wear a black T-shirt with no markings exposed right here for your undershirt.
Okay. And the university supplied your uniforms, correct?
Yes, sir.
Did they supply your black undershirts?
No, sir, they did not.
That was up to each individual officer.
Correct.
Okay. The undershirt that was taken from you on July 19th at University Hospital had writing on it that said Great Smoky Mountains, Tennessee, I believe, correct?
Yes, sir.
And centered in the middle of that was a Confederate flag, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And does a Confederate flag mean anything to you?
It has no meaning to me, no.
What was the purpose of did you have any purpose in putting that particular shirt on that day?
I had a certain number of black shirts in my rotation to wear for my summer uniform for UC, and you kind of want to wear older t-shirts because when it's hot out in your vest, you start sweating a lot and your t-shirt gets soaked with sweat. It was just in my laundry basket. I just grabbed it, threw it on. I never looked twice at it, never thought anything about it. It was just a black t-shirt with no markings on the V-neck.
Thank you. Ray, on July 19th, what time did you report to duty? On July 19th, 2015?
At 3 p.m., sir.
And what happened when you reported to duty?
When we report for duty, I usually get there a little bit early. I arrive in plain clothes and I keep my uniform at the department. We have our own locker room. I changed into my UC police uniform.
Did you have the black t-shirt on at that time?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then what? You changed into your UC uniform and what?
Yes, sir. So I changed into my uniform, and at 3 p.m., we have a briefing room in our department, and a supervisor will come in every day at the start of our shift from 3 p.m. to 3:30, and we'll go through a briefing. Basically, it's a blotter of what's taking place that day, any important notices that we need to be aware of, just things of that nature.
And how many fellow officers were you working with on July 19th, if you recall?
I don't recall exactly, somewhere around 6 or 7, maybe 8, including supervisors.
And UC, as I understand it, had a series of beats
Yes, sir.
set up. Can you explain what a beat is?
A beat is a assigned patrol area that is given to you at the start of your shift, saying basically this is where you are going to patrol for your shift.
And are those beats off campus or on campus?
The majority of beats at that time were off campus.
Were you assigned a particular beat on July 19th?
Yes, sir.
Does that mean that you have to remain within that beat your entire shift?
No, not necessarily.
Was your beat on campus or off campus?
My beat was completely off campus in the city of Cincinnati.
And what did you have a particular assignment that day?
Yes, sir.
What was that?
It was called the 9233 beat. That's our radio code we use. And the 33 beat is the entire area off campus, south of campus.
And you were running a single-man cruiser, correct?
Yes, sir.
And what were you supposed to do? Did you have some particular task to perform that day?
It's unique being a university officer if you're assigned out in the city of Cincinnati, because since that's technically the Cincinnati Police's jurisdiction, you don't get dispatched to radio runs in that area. You can back them up, certainly, but you don't get dispatched on your radio to calls. So it leaves a lot of time, especially being off campus, to be proactive, to look for things, and just to be proactive. Yeah.
Okay, well, what do you mean by being proactive? What did you do?
Just looking for things out of the normal, running license plates on your mobile computer in your car, looking for violations, traffic violations, pedestrian violations, just things of that nature, since we were encouraged to by Chief Goodrich.
Prior to your encounter with Sam DuBose, and I think we can agree that that occurred about 6:30 p.m. on July 19th, correct?
Yes, sir.
Had you been involved in any other situations that day where you activated your body-worn camera?
Yes, sir, I did.
And by the way, how long had you been wearing a body-worn camera?
I believe I believe it was optional when Chief Goodrich got hired. We started implementing the process, and it was optional for a couple months. And I think it became mandatory in early 2015 at some point.
So you were used to wearing it, correct?
Yes.
You knew how to operate it?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. At this time, Ray, I would like to hand you what's been marked as Defendant's Exhibit number 3. And ask you if you can identify them.
Yes, sir. These are body cam videos from previous interactions or traffic stops on July 19th before my encounter with Mr. DuBose.
So those body-worn camera videos that are on that DVD are the ones that you recorded on July 19th after you started your shift, correct?
Yes, sir.
Judge, with the court's permission, I would like to move that into evidence and have the jury look at that.
Any objection? Very good. If we could-
Judge, with the court's permission, I would like Mr. Tenzing to come around and kind of identify the videos here. Start with number one there. Okay. So you can see the screen. Can you tell where this is? Okay, go ahead.
Move ahead of perception. Do that good. Okay, so video tape. Okay, go on to go. Contact taking back, like that. That's 8 here, that's Now you're good, are you aware that too, you're good to go? Party? No. Anyone over 4 years old or 40 pounds, they have to have party. And you have 1, 2, 3, 4, your whole hip in the back and the 3 feet long. So that's what we got to get crash and then come to the nipple. Okay. Give me more talking to me? Oh, okay, good deal. All right, man. He's gonna be pretty excited in the morning, and he's gonna get a couple of days. Now, to avoid that in the car, if somebody close enough to get here. Oh, yeah. Yeah, where are you coming from? What's up, guys? Hey, buddy. Okay. Yeah, pretty good. Did you come by yourself or with somebody else? Okay, so you're just gonna park somewhere and drive the car then, or? Yeah, I think it is about 15.0. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna tell you if you guys go like that. Ryan, what you got voted? All right, so on Table Avenue or available? You want to hear that address? Was it right to that address? Did any leader accept this one? You spoke correctly? That's what you call it, right? So you're under three license inspection. Two-license forfeiture and one-range collection. So you still owe fees through Illinois County Court through something, correct? Are you paying off previous tickets? Yeah, that's a random question. But you got two of them and you still owe fees for something, and they suspend your license. Well, these would be separate fees. Yes, ma'am. Okay. You guys just hang out for a couple minutes, pick you out your way. You the chairman of the board? This is the other. No answers, no insurance, no back, no insurance. I mean, those three are easy, not sick, man. You have a job? And you just not afford this? That is fine. Can't afford to either license, you know, reinstated and all that, stuff taken care of. If you still afford money a week, I'm just saying, man. Actually, it's cheaper in the long run. If you don't have stuff taken care of, you're not gonna get out and stop and get more fines and get everything snowballs and a bigger fine and everything. If you can just take care of it now, it's easier and cheaper in the long run, man. You're more all the taxes, and money forward, and all these fees and, yeah. And you can review that and how much you want to charge. Where you got that is that.
Ray, what are you doing at this point?
I'm writing out a traffic citation and a restart for this stop.
Let's say we're going to win. and you're not going to jail. Okay? If you were not after working, you wouldn't want to go out there more. And me. Okay? So this is going to be a mandatory board hearing on August 6th, Thursday, 1 p.m., room B at the Jackson Center downtown. Same thing with your warrant. We working for that, it's also August 6th. Same thing with us. Same person. Any questions on that?
Can we get the next one? Is this next one a continuation of that one? Where you finish up with this gentleman?
Yes, sir.
What time was this traffic stop about?
This would have been at about 4:30.
Get out and find these and you're together. All right? You're gonna step up and line up here. All right, Sandy, you're not going to just say yes, down the road. You sign this X on the replay. And on the top, with the breaker. All right, so August 6th, 1 p.m. room B. Oh, yeah. Make sure you don't go there. You don't fail that, or warrants, then you probably gotta fail that time. Alright. Make sure you don't drive until you get the stuff taken care of, okay? Insurance, or your license. And if you need that, you address, that's our Baker. This is 21 Baker. Alright, you're good. I'm gonna take a look. Alright, good. Sorry about that. You got it. Alright.
Advance to the next one, please. Thank you. Okay, Ray, can you tell what this next one is?
I believe I backed up under UCL's, another traffic stop she was in.
Okay. This was after the one we just watched, correct?
Yes, sir.
Nine to 15. Eight, 4, 7, 2. Yes. 10.
Okay, Ray, before we start this next one, can you tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury what time this last one occurred? Can you tell from there?
This next video would have been right at 6 o'clock, July 19th, 16th.
Okay, go ahead.
And four, I'm sending you, please, your license plate. Good. Okay. Who did you live together in the car? Yeah, that's you. Right. Okay. She says it's kind of like, and you gotta look like her. And then your son said up here, that's got to go in front of the car. I can't see that. Yeah. You don't have to do it. I'm just saying that's one reason that's not. Okay. And do you do that again, you said? Cool. You want to drive your car? Or you want to drive a car? Just send it. Alright, we're gonna the chicks out here, got the road set. Hold that. I didn't do that.
Okay, you may resume your seat. So Ray, that last video occurred about 6 o'clock, correct?
Yes, sir.
And a few minutes later, 20 minutes later, you ran into Sam DeBose, is that right?
Yes, sir.
You were sitting at the intersection of East Hollister and Vine, is that right?
Correct.
What was your purpose in being there?
A common thing we did, since McMillan is only a one-way, it only goes eastbound. The easiest thing to turn around to come back to your area is to take a right onto Auburn and then to take a left on East Hollister, and then you can cut back up to West Hollister and get back to Calhoun Street in that area. So that's a common thing to do.
Okay, so West Hollister would have been directly across Vine Street from East Hollister where we were the other day, is that right?
Yes, sir.
And that was your intention?
Yes, sir.
And did something interfere with your intention there?
Yes, sir.
What was that?
I was stopped at the intersection briefly. I believe I was reorganizing my bag or checked my phone. I can't recall. And I happened to look up to the north on Vine Street, up the hill, and coming from the intersection of Vine and McMillan, was a vehicle that was coming towards me, and there was no front license plate on the vehicle.
And what did you do in response to that?
As the vehicle passed, I noted it was a green Honda Accord. The vehicle passed me, and I ran the rear license plate of the vehicle, which was an Ohio license plate, as it passed me. I ran that into my, it's called an MDC, a mobile data computer in your police car.
Hey, did you notice anything about the driver as that car passed you?
I couldn't tell if it was a male or female. All I could tell is that there's one person in the car, and they were wearing a red and white type shirt and a red and white type hat as they drove by, but I could not tell who was driving.
And was there anything significant about the fact that there was no front license plate, but there was an Ohio license plate on the rear of the car?
Yes, sir. I recognize that as being a violation of Ohio law. And in addition to that, as I ran the rear license plate, it returned on my mobile computer that the registered owner of the car was under driving suspensions.
You knew that immediately, correct?
Yes, sir. Right after running the license plate.
And did you decide to do something in response to that?
When I saw that the registered owner was under suspensions, that's when I pulled out southbound after the Honda Accord to initiate a traffic stop.
And what happened?
As we were going southbound on Vine, the driver, who we later found out was Mr. DuBose, they indicated with their left blinker that they were going to turn left onto Thill Street, just off of Vine. So just as they are turning, or he was turning onto Thill Street, that's when I activated my red and blue police lights, while at the same time getting on my radio, advising my dispatch that I was going to make a traffic stop right there.
And what happened then?
As, again, now we later learned out Mr. DuBose was driving. The vehicle turned left onto Thill, and my plan was to have them pull over right at Thill and Vine, just off of Vine Street to get out of traffic. However, the vehicle did not stop. They just continued driving eastbound on Thill Street. They weren't fleeing from me. He wasn't, accelerating away from me. He was just not stopping.
Did you have any indication that he knew you were behind him at that time?
With it being daytime, to make sure he knew I was behind him, I started flicking on my siren, my yelp button, several times to make sure that he knew I was behind him, and I got no reaction from the driver.
What happened then?
He continued driving eastbound on Thill, where he pulled around the corner. Thill dead ends, and it turns into Rice Street to the right. That's when I got on my radio and advised that the vehicle is slow to stop.
What does slow to stop mean?
That means, again, that they're not fleeing from you, but they're just not stopping and complying with your red and blue lights to pull over immediately.
And who were you advising when you got on the radio?
Just our dispatch.
And are other officers who are on duty with you able to hear that?
Yes, sir. When you talk on your radio, every other UC officer on the channel, they hear you talking as well as your dispatch.
Okay, so the car turned right onto Rice, correct?
Correct.
And you followed.
Correct.
The car pulled over,
Yes, sir.
and then what happened?
The car pulled over onto Rice Street. I then got out of my cruiser, and I approached the driver's side, and I discovered it was a male driving the vehicle. And I believe I asked him for his name. I don't believe he responded to me. And then I proceeded to introduce myself. I said, I'm Officer Tenzing with UC Police. Do you have your license on you?
And were you getting any response from him?
No, sir, I was not. He, at that point, he asked me what the reason was that I pulled him over. And I then advised him that he did not have a front license plate on his vehicle.
And what happened?
At this point, his vehicle was in park and the car was on. He reached up with his right hand and he turned the car off, and he took the key, and I guess in order to open the glove box, he had to use the key for it. So he took the key out and reached over to the passenger side glove box, and he opened up the glove box, and he was digging through files, and he kind of halfway pulled out what looked to be a license to inform me that he did have a license plate. It was just in the glove box.
And Did you tell him that you didn't need to see it, that it belonged on the front of the car or something of that nature?
Yes, sir. I told him I didn't need to see it at that moment, that it just needed to go on the front of the vehicle in compliance with Ohio law.
And then what?
I then again asked him, I believe several more times, for a driver's license. And every time I asked him, he would kind of pat his pockets down and act like he was going for a license, but then he wouldn't. And he would just kind of sit there and he'd make eye contact with me, and then he'd start looking away, just like he was stalling.
What, if anything, did that mean to you?
That set off a couple red flags in my mind. Just how nervous and squirrely, for lack of a better term, how nervous he was acting. It just kind of raised the hairs in the back of my neck stand up, that there's something not right here.
So what did you do?
I believe I asked him just to be honest with me if he was under a driving suspension. And going back a little bit, one of the reasons I did not tell him that the registered owner was under a suspension, I wanted to see if he was going to be honest with me to talk about that.
And so what happened?
When I asked him to be honest with me, I was asking him if he had a valid license. He said he did. And then he offered something to the effect of, you can run my social security number, or you can run my name.
Okay, at some point, there was a bottle that said gin on it produced. Where did that fit into this scenario?
Yes, sir. I believe right after that, I looked down on the floorboard of his car, and I saw on the driver's side floorboard between his feet, there was a bottle, and the label said gin on it. And I asked him what was that, and he reached down and picked it up, and he handed it to me out of the window. And I took it in my hand, and it said gin. And at that same time as I was reading that, he advised me that it was air freshener, which I didn't elaborate on my statement, but that set off further alarm bells, that why does he have a gin bottle filled with perfume or air freshener? That struck me as odd.
What did you do with the gin bottle?
I figured whatever the case was with that I could set that on the roof of his car and go back to dealing with him, because again, he was just so nervous and so squirrely the way he was acting. I wanted to focus on him.
Okay, and did the gin bottle give you any hints about, or did that concern you at all about his condition?
Again, I know I did not elaborate on this in my statement, but it set off a couple other red flags that, okay, I'm possibly now dealing with a DUI driver, or that he's claiming that it's air freshener. If that is accurate, that in my training and experience, people use that to mask the smell of drugs in their car, to throw off a canine dog, or to just mask the smell of any drugs he may have.
Have you experienced the smell of drugs in car before?
Yes, sir.
On how many occasions?
Numerous occasions, mostly marijuana.
Did you notice the smell of marijuana that day?
No, I did not.
Did you notice any smell of alcohol on or about the driver or in the car?
No, I did not.
Okay. So you're handed the bottle of gin, you put it on the roof, you're still inquiring about a driver's license?
Yes, sir. And when he asked me, or he offered to have me run his name or social security card, again, the way he was acting so nervous, I felt like he was trying to just get me away from him, that was a reason that I could turn my back and walk back to my police car and leave him alone. And I did not want to do that.
Why not?
Just the way he was acting for a traffic stop, that normal people just don't act that way. Just how nervous he was acting, it was setting off alarm bells in my head that there was something not right here.
Was that different from the stops that you had been involved in even earlier that afternoon?
Yes, sir, it was.
Okay. So what did you do?
At that point, since I could not identify who he was, I asked him, or I believe I told him that until I can figure out who you are, go ahead and take your seatbelt off. And at that time, I reached with my left hand to open his driver's door.
And what was your purpose in doing that?
My purpose was to go ahead and detain him and my plan was, well, backtrack a second. I was taught by Scott Hughes to handcuff drivers in the driver's seat, to actually handcuff them, as you saw in the previous video, while they're sitting in the car.
Good afternoon, everyone. You have been watching live coverage
to get 'em
inside the
out after we
courtroom
handcuff
as
them
police
after we
officer, former officer Ray
My plan
Tensing takes
was
the
to
stand.
open the door
We're going to continue to listen in right now.
with Mr. DuBose.
And what happened?
Well, as I opened the driver's side door, he immediately reached up with his left hand and he pulled the door back shut. And simultaneously with his right hand, at this point, the keys were back in the ignition.
Do you know how or when they got back in the ignition?
I think at some point during our conversation, he took the keys back from the glove box and just stuck them in the ignition without turning back on the car.
And why did you not ask him to give you the keys?
That was my plan eventually, when I was going to open the door, is before I handcuffed him to just hand me the keys, just like the previous stop, to set them on the roof or the dashboard.
You never got that far, correct?
I never made it that far, no.
Okay, what happened?
So as I'm opening the door and he's, with his left hand, he's pulling it shut while simultaneously starting the vehicle with his right hand. And he was successful in pulling the driver's door back shut on me. And at that point, I was so close to him. I was so close. I was so close, I could see, I was just so close to his keys, I thought I had a good chance to knock the keys out of the ignition, to grab them, to stop him from going anywhere and to regain control of them. I thought I could beat him to it.
What happened? He was faster than you?
He was very fast. He started the car with his right hand and immediately went down to the gear shifter, and at this point I'm reaching in with my left hand to go for his keys. But he was so fast, he slammed the car in drive. He slammed the car in drive and he just sorry, can I have a minute? Thank you. So he slammed the car in drive and he mashed the accelerator with his foot. And the guard is jolted forward, and while this was happening, my left arm was still inside the car. And I thought I had reached through or near the top of the steering wheel, I'm not sure. But as the vehicle started rocketing forward, I felt my arm somehow stuck in the car.
Did you begin to fall?
Yes, sir. My arm was stuck and I could not pull it out. And I felt his car going forwards, and that's when my body twisted. That's when my body twisted to the left, and I was now facing more of the trunk of his car. And I started falling backwards. And I was telling during this, I told him twice to stop, stop, stop.
Why did you tell him stop, stop?
I wanted him to stop the car.
You perceived that the car was in motion?
Yes, sir.
You were falling?
I was falling backwards, and the left side of my body had kind of fallen against his driver's side door. I was falling backwards as he's just got his foot mashed in the accelerator. and I could feel his car turning left into me. So I'm falling backwards, and I'm falling lower and lower. I'm falling lower and lower against his driver's door. I remember thinking, oh my God, that he's gonna run me over and he's gonna kill me. And that he's actively dragging me with his car right now, and my arm is stuck in there, and I cannot get it out. And he's turning left into me with his car. He's got his foot mashed in the accelerator, and his back tire is gonna run me over.
Is that when you drew your weapon?
Yes, sir.
Fired?
That's when I drew my gun with my right hand. And again, I was falling backwards against his car. He was going forwards. I was facing his trunk, and I was completely off balance at this point. And I just remember thinking, oh my God, he's gonna run me over and he's gonna kill me. And I just instinctively just drew my gun, and I was so low, all I could see was really just his upper body, his head area, and that's when I reached up and fired towards him, towards his head.
You heard Grant Fredericks testify the other day that you were standing up when you fired.
No, sir, my perception at that point is I was falling backwards against this vehicle, completely off balance, as he was just rocketing away in his car.
Now, I believe Mr. Fredericks testified the other day that you never came into contact with the car. Do you remember that?
I do.
That's your perception?
That was not my perception. My perception was that my body got rotated to my right and I fell backwards, and the left side of my body fell against his driver's door.
And what made you feel that you were going to be seriously injured or killed?
I felt my body moving with his car. He was picking up speed. I remember hearing the RPMs climbing and his engine revving, and the way he initially pulled over, there was a car parked in front of him, and I knew he had to turn left to pull out, and I could feel his car turning left into my body, and he was still accelerating, and I was just thinking, oh my God, my legs are gonna get sucked underneath his car, and he's gonna run me over, and he's gonna run over top of me with his car, and I'm gonna die on the street today. And also in the back of my mind, I remember when I initially pulled over, I did a scene size up. I look around on the scene for anything, just my settings. And I remember on the other side of the street, there was a guardrail with metal I-beam posts sticking up. And they were facing the street. So as I felt my body being dragged and his car turning left into me, in the back of my mind it just said guardrail, that he's steering you towards that, and he's gonna scrape you off the side of his car on that guardrail. And
This all happened in a split second, correct?
it happened very fast, yes.
How were you able to have all those thoughts? Can you explain that?
They flashed just very quickly. I feel my body getting dragged, guardrail, it's gonna run me over, and it just happened.
Ray, did you have any less lethal weapons with you than your gun that day?
We only carry mace and a baton. We're not allowed to carry tasers at all.
You were not equipped with a taser, correct?
I didn't have a taser, no.
At some point, you disengaged from Mr. DeBose's car, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Do you know when that was or where you ended up?
My perception during this is immediately after I fired the shot, that at that point my arm was still caught, and And right after the shot, that my arm became somehow free from whatever was trapped, or whatever way it was trapped in or around the steering wheel. Again, I'm not sure how it was. I just know I could not get it out and free it. So right after the shot was fired, my arm became free, but his vehicle was still accelerating hard. He was just rocketing forward, again, turning into me still. And I was still completely off balance, falling on my back. And I just remember just trying to grab for anything with my left hand to keep my body upright. Just I grabbed towards the seatbelt or his chest just to keep from falling backwards and getting sucked under his car, just trying to hold on for dear life.
Okay, so you came free from the car, correct?
Yes, sir.
And do you know where you were with relation to where you had started out?
I had some idea that I was farther up the street. It felt like I was attached to his car for a mile, but I would guess 15 to 20 feet. I was farther up the street.
What did you do then?
After I fell off his car, I slid on my back and I kind of rolled to my right. And I remember kind of, as I'm standing up, I'm facing the opposite way because I fell on my back, and I see Officer Kidd and Officer Lindenschmidt sprinting down Rice Street towards me.
What did you do?
It just instinctively, I popped up real quick. I got off the ground and I turned around, and right at that point we heard a loud crash farther up the street, where the direction where Mr. Dubos's car had gone. So we heard a loud crash, and all three of us turned around and started running up the street towards where we heard the crash.
Were you injured?
At that point, I wasn't sure. My adrenaline was running so fast, and everything was still unfolding. I wasn't sure at that point.
And I assume you and Officer Kidd and Officer Lindenschmidt ran to the corner of Rice and Valencia, correct?
Yes, sir.
What did you find when you got there?
We found that Mr. Dubos's car had crashed into a wall and what appeared to be a telephone pole right at the intersection of Rice and Valencia. He had crashed on the driver's side against the wall.
Were you able to determine at that point what Mr. Dubos's condition was?
I was not sure, no.
What was the car doing?
The car was crashed against the wall, and the engine was redlining. It was just revving and screaming against the wall, but still sitting stationary.
What did you do?
I told Officer Kidd to cover me, and I went around the front of Mr. Dubos's car, and I reached in and I shut the key off to stop the car from blowing up or whatever. I just wanted to shut it off since it was just sitting there screaming.
Then what?
After the car was shut off, I had realized when I looked in that Mr. Dubos he had been shot. And I came back around to the passenger side of his car, and myself, Officer Kidd, and Officer Lindenschmidt just were standing there, and I believe Officer Kidd got on the radio to put out an officer needs assistance. I was just more or less in shock at that point.
Were you injured in any manner?
As the adrenaline started coming back down, I could feel in my left arm, from my elbow down, it hurt. It was tingly. It just it felt like a tendon had been pulled in my arm. It was tingling. And my left knee started to hurt, and my lower back from where I fell on my gun belt was starting to hurt.
And then eventually you were transported by Sergeant Nate Asbury to the University Hospital, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you were examined there,
Yes, sir.
found to not have any broken bones or serious injuries, correct?
Yes, sir. They gave me x-rays, and there weren't any broken bones.
Did they provide you with any medication?
Since I was complaining of pain in my arm, my knee and my back, they gave me some kind of pain medication.
And then what happened?
That's when one of the Cincinnati officers came in and took my duty gear and my uniform.
And eventually you were taken back to the University of Cincinnati Police Department?
Yes, sir.
Now, 2 days later, on July 21st, you responded to 824 Broadway Street over here and met with Sergeant Hine and Detective McGuffey, correct?
Correct.
And you were with an attorney at that time.
Yes, sir.
That was not me.
Correct. That was not you.
Did you and your attorney that you met them with discuss your statement that you were going to give before you went in there?
No, sir.
Okay. Had you had an opportunity to look at the video, the body-worn camera video?
My lawyer had obtained the body cam video, and we looked at it a couple hours prior to giving my statement.
Did you discuss what you were going to say in your statement?
No, sir.
When you met with Sergeant Hine and Detective McGuffey, did you answer all their questions that were put to you?
Yes, sir.
Tell the truth?
Yes, sir.
At the scene at Rice and Valencia afterwards, you can be heard saying, "I was dragged, my arm is hurt," something to that effect, and the jury will be able to see it on the video. Did you make that stuff up?
No, sir. I didn't even remember making those comments until after I saw the body cam video again.
When this happened on July 19th, 2015, were you mad at Sam DuBose or angry?
No, sir.
Was it your purpose to kill him?
No, sir.